I'm running late, not losing any sleep, cause I slept in. Well, not really. It's -30 outside. What's the temperature right now in Colorado?
It was 10 this morning when we took Carm to school.
It's currently -14 with a wind chill of -30. But honestly, after it gets down to like -10, can you really tell the difference after a while?
No, the only thing that's colder than that weather is the ice running through Jarrett Stidham's veins right now. It's a Stiddy party!
Baby, Devontae, we here.
We steer
you in the right direction. Welcome to another edition of the Grossi Perna Show. I'm Tom Grossi. That's Bryant Perna, and this is Jake. Yes,
baby. Guys, we are what? A little more than 48 hours away from the AFC Championship game with the Denver Broncos and Jarrett Stidham ready to upset those New England Patriots.
How you feeling? I know we talked about this on Monday. They're like, by the time I get to Friday, I'm going to be all in. I saw, changing profile pictures to Jarrett Stidham, in solidarity. There's a
Broncos
fever.
Country.
A Stiddy fever.
Yeah, I've been working on finishing editing the Jarrett Stidham video all morning, so I am peak excitement,
ready to run through a wall.
I'm probably too optimistic right now, Tom. If I'm being very honest.
Yeah.
For the situation, for the knowing I was going to try and convince myself Stiddy can come in and upset New England, to the point where I'm at now is I'm going to be upset if he doesn't. I've already determined he's got the goods.
That's fair.
Based on a start from 3 years ago, he's got the goods.
All right, so let me ask you a question, right? Obviously, the Broncos win. There's excitement because, oh, God, we're going to the Super Bowl.
Yes,
right?
Yes,
you know it's without Bo Nix, which definitely does temper some expectations, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're on the other end of it, in which the Patriots win, right? Because Patriots will likely be favored for Sunday.
They are. There
you go.
5.5 point favorites. They're currently the biggest favorite for a road team going into the championship game, I believe.
Makes sense. You don't have your starting quarterback, right?
Yeah.
So would you rather it be a blowout? Like it's just like they just pull away and they just beat you? Or if it's a close game that you wind up losing, is it going to be like, oh, God, if we had Bo Nix, we would have won this game?
That kind of loss will hurt a little more in the moment, but I'll take a close game.
That's fair.
And I think it's not even just validation for Bo Nix, but for this entire Broncos team, that the reason the Broncos are in this game is not singularly because of Bo Nix. It's because this team has showed up, and any given week, it's been a different player. It's been a different side of the ball. It's been a different reason they've won games. Second half of the season, I think we really watched Bo Nix get to where we thought he was going to be. I thought he covered up a lot of deficiencies well for the offense at times, specifically the run game after Dobbins went down. But even that in the run game, and that's not even a critique on Jaleel McLaughlin or RJ Harvey, because you saw against Buffalo, you get RJ Harvey in space, you just got to give that man a little bit of room.
Sure.
And he breaks his first tackle almost every time and turns nothing into something. He just has a little bit of an issue running between the tackles, but I think it's more vindication for the team belonging where they're at, and as long as they keep this game close, I can live with the results. And if they get the win, then God save us all.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Perna got a fitty.
Ooh. Yeah, this is nice because
I like that.
the Chargers got Mike McDaniel. Makes me a little bit scared of what that offense is going to do in the AFC West against the Broncos.
Sure.
But then they lose Jesse Minter. So fuck your defense, LA. Bye-bye. But I mean, there's still a ton of talent on that defense. Don't get me wrong. But he did a tremendous job coaching the Chargers defense this year. We talked a lot about how I didn't even want to see that team in the playoffs because of what they did. And the Ravens, Minter is coming. I didn't even know the Ravens had a social media team, and now I'm aware.
Minter, I really like this fit because it's also Ravens fans have been regretting ever since Mike McDonald left to go to the Seattle Seahawks, and especially what he's been able to turn that team into. He's one of the Coaching of the Year finalists. And on top of that, their defense is really damn good in Seattle. And, with Zach Orr, it's kind of like, but here I like Minter, get that defensive identity. That's kind of what the Ravens are usually built upon. And I think Minter is going to do a good job. We'll see.
Yeah. It's about who comes in, and you get a guy like Minter, then it's all about who they bring in for their OC, right? I think the funniest part of this, dude, is that the Cleveland Browns just have guy after guy declining to interview with them again. Because Minter turned down the second interview with the Browns, and then he took this job. Mike McDaniel turned down the second interview with the Browns, and then the Chargers news broke. But Mike McDaniel's interviewing with the Buffalo Bills for their head coaching spot today as well.
So, because it's in that scenario, so Brian Flores, he signed a contract extension with the Minnesota Vikings to stay on as their DC, but he could leave if he gets a head coaching gig, but I don't know if he's going to get a head coaching gig, especially now, unless he winds up going to Cleveland or something like that. But
is he the tough love Deshaun Watson finally needs?
Brian Flores might kill him. He might.
Go Chargers, go.
If the Browns managed to get Brian Flores, that would be a huge win for them. But they feel like a team that nobody really wants to coach right now. And that sucks for Browns fans.
Yeah, I mean, life has sucked for Browns fans. I mean, they're just getting constantly punched in the face by their franchise. So that stuff. Yeah, Per and I were just talking about this. So this is one of the benefits of staying up until 2:00 in the morning almost every night. So randomly at 1:30 Central Time, I got 12,000 subscribers that put me over 1 million. And I was like, well, this is not right. This is weird. Cause right before I went to bed, I was just under 991. And an hour later, that was not the case. And so I was like, did I just get botted? I'm emailing YouTube and I'm just here are screenshots. The things don't line up. And then I watched my channel free fall and lose 12,000 subscribers. And I was like, well, now I hope it doesn't go under where I was. And it didn't, thankfully. So it was super fun at 2:00 in the morning. The good news is I think it was just a glitch and we're all back to normal. And we're 9,000 subscribers away from 1 million.
That is sick. You're going to get there at the perfect moment.
Where that? Oh, dude, it was the most deflating thing ever. I saw the 1M next to my name and I was just like, oh, cool. I didn't even get to celebrate this. And I think it's bots and this sucks. And thankfully it got resolved. So, but yeah, it was good. Oh, the thing I was working for a decade plus, just fine. It's fine. We're not used to seeing Perna this happy. But yeah, we'll see the Mike McDaniel. It'd be very interesting. He goes to Buffalo. I don't know if he's going to get that head coaching gig.
Yeah, I don't know who the hell Buffalo's even going to hire at this point.
Yeah.
Feels like it's going to be Brian Dable.
Yeah. It feels like that. Because again, you and I mentioned this on Wednesday. He knows the crazy.
Yeah.
Right? What you're getting into, and you're just like, okay.
Yeah. And I don't even know if it's so much crazy as Terry Pagula, more of just a kind of a clueless owner, I would say. Doesn't seem like an evil owner, or a malicious owner, just kind of clueless. And it's like he's getting manipulated maybe a little bit by Brandon Beane, and he feels loyal to Beane, but
that wasn't a catch.
Huh?
That wasn't a catch. Sorry, I just wanted to. If you're Josh Allen,
yeah,
I want Terry Pegula to go into like ER waiting rooms and just go up to families, while they're just like thinking about their loved ones who are getting treatment, and just yell at them, be like, that wasn't a catch.
Yeah.
And just like go from family to family. Because I think that would console them.
I feel for Bills fans. Then you had Brandon Cooks going on the NFL Network yesterday, also saying he thought he caught it, lying to our fucking faces. One of my biggest points was like, look at Brandon Cooks after this play. He's just on the ground, disappointed. That's not a man who thought he just caught the ball.
Yeah.
And then we have there was a T. Higgins play where he got picked in a similar fashion, and then a Baker Mayfield throw to McMillan that was picked in a similar fashion, all ruled interceptions. So I'm glad the receipts of this being ruled as an interception are coming out, because it's at this point, it's just, now it's annoying. Now it's getting annoying.
Jeff Hartley, is that like Jeff Hardy, right? Yeah. But I told Dolphins fans, I was like, listen, I know that there was some skepticism about Jeff Hafley being hired because he hasn't been a head coach before. And I understand, like, you want to get over the hump. Mike McDaniel wasn't a head coach. You wanted someone potentially with some more experience. Well, you're going to love the way he talks. And I watched his presser, man. And Jeff Hafley, I really hope he does well. Not against the Packers when he comes to Lambeau next season, but I really hope he does well, because he just seems like a good dude. And I loved having him in Green Bay. So I think he's going to do all right. Like, he was talking about trust and talking about belief and talking about accountability. Like, he's very well spoken. It was a good one. So yeah, I think you got a good one. We'll see how you can make nice speeches, as coaches. There's been plenty of those, but I think he can create a good team there. So feel better, JFK. Feel better. Perna, you ready for AFC NFC Championship?
Oh my God, yes.
You ready? Ready to do it? Ready to rock?
Hey, I'm so ready.
Stay warm. Appreciate you.
I am.
It's cold today. It could get down to, I think by me, it's like -40 with the wind chill. They're like, oh, you can get frostbite in 10 minutes. Yeah, no, it's a different level of cold, man. Today wasn't bad though. Like, I walked out and, you just layer up, and like, I was okay. And Dash went out real quick. He understood the assignment. He's like, I'm going to walk, I'm going to pee, I'm going to poop. And then we're going right back inside. So he understood.
Yeah. Now with the Broncos, one thing when I'm trying to put together this Stidham video, and I'm like watching through different games and moments and highlights and things, and against Buffalo, Marvin Mims and Jaquan McMillan, both big performances, big plays. And what I didn't, I knew this, but like looking back through some of those games, they were doing this all season. Like the first time Denver played the Chiefs, big sack in that game comes from a Jaquan McMillan blitz. There was I think against like the Giants game, one of the big receptions at the very end there's Marvin Mims. So like, just seeing those guys kind of ball out and do it in key moments for a game where Denver's going to need the best from every player not named Jarrett Stidham as well.
Yeah.
Like, I feel pretty confident about like this team. And I say that as they're going against a very good Patriots team who is as complete a team as, they've played in a while. So it'll be fun. Doesn't guarantee shit, but I went from, oh no, Bo Nix is hurt. Okay, let's rally behind Stidham. Can Stidham actually do it? I think Stidham can do it, not just because of Stidham, but because of everybody else in that locker room, and because of Sean Payton. I think like the NFL Network did a good job hyping up Sean Payton this morning, and they were talking about his press conference, his second press conference that same night when Bo Nix first got hurt, and the confidence that Sean immediately illustrated in Jarrett Stidham. And they drew parallels back to when Kurt Warner had to come in for the Rams, and Dick Vermeil immediately showing confidence in his quarterback going into that season. And they have Kurt Warner talking about it. I think it's in America's Game. And Kurt Warner saying, like, I don't know, reflecting if they actually believed in me at the time. Like, but they made me feel like they believed in me. And that helped. And it's just 1 week, they have for Stidham. But I think, like, the transition from the shock of Bo going down to, all right, it's Stidham time. When your head coach believes in you that way, and then based on every interview or soundbite you have about Stidham, it's about his confidence, from like Max Crosby to Josh McDaniels to like all these guys talking about, he is a cocky, confident guy. Devin McCourty talking about it when he's running the scout team for the Patriots. And like, that's all we have to go off of. Yeah. Doesn't mean shit because he hasn't played, real football since the preseason.
Yep.
But is like, in terms of like all the little intangible things that you could hope to have, like, it's there.
Well, and Lone, you make a good point. That's what we talked about on predictions too, right? It's just like when Micah Parsons goes down, if this team is going to make it to the big game, they're going to have to do it in a different way. For Denver, a big sense of their identity all season has been through their defense, right? That is how they have won football games. And Drake Maye has been sacked 10 times in these playoffs in 2 games. Right. And considering Denver can get after the quarterback, like that's your major concern. So on top of that, while the entire, media is running with CJ Stroud completely crapping the bed last week, Drake Maye has also had multiple turnovers in those 2 weeks. Right. Yeah. And so if Denver is able to do that, the concern that I have with Denver is that they were one-dimensional against one of the worst run defenses last week. And they're going up against a much better run defense this week. And it's like, okay, well, if you can't rely on Bo Nix to make that throw to Marvin Mims at the end, right? Yeah. Or on all those turnovers, then how are you going to move the football against a good defense? And I think that's where my concern is, just because, RJ Harvey, as you mentioned, is J.K. Dobbins back? Like I know that there was like rumors that he could.
He looks good at practice this week.
That'd be big.
Yeah. I don't know if he's going to play yet. We should know today, right?
I'd assume you're going to have an idea.
But yeah, if they get Dobbins back, that's huge. Yeah. I think like the difference is I don't expect Jarrett Stidham to be Bo Nix in that fourth quarter.
No.
And I just hope he doesn't have to be. I hope
exactly
the strength that Stidham might have is maybe just being a little bit more comfortable in the pocket. And the Broncos offensive line has been considered the best offensive line in football for the majority of the season. If they do their job and they protect him, I think he can play a little bit better than Bo from the pocket through the first 3 quarters. Like, I'm hoping first 3 quarters, the Broncos have a decent lead. And then it's just, you play very game manager level football in the fourth quarter. Yeah. My fear is if they need some fucking magic then, and I'm not saying Stidham can't do it. I just,
they go down a few points, then it's like, like can they rally? Can they score enough points, rally back? Yeah, Yankees, that's the other one too. So Christian Parker, we were talking about this on Wednesday because he was going to have an interview with the Packers as their potential new defensive coordinator, but the Cowboys hired him. So Parker, he was with the Philadelphia Eagles working with their secondary. So I actually like that hiring for the Cowboys, not only because I think he's going to be a decent DC, but 2, is because he's not Matt Eberflus, right? So yeah, I think that just there's a couple things that are working in your favor there.
Yeah, Parker was in Denver. Christian Parker was in Denver for a bit. Very highly regarded by Broncos players. I think it was Justin Simmons had a lot of great things to say about Christian Parker, and that feels like a very smart hiring for the Cowboys. Yeah. And we're actually gonna have Adam Rank join us in a couple minutes here.
Oh, he's coming on the show?
He's going to come on.
I love it. Kubiak, that's the thing. Does he go to Arizona? Does he go to Cleveland? Like,
Clint Kubiak and Davis Webb, they wait for their chance to interview with the Bills. And they can't do it because they're both playing. Now, the weird thing with Davis Webb is with the Bills is he and Josh Allen are like very, very good friends.
Mm.
He's been painted as Josh Allen's best friend, actually, by one Peter Schrager.
Mm.
So would you want that? Like, would you want to hire a guy who you know is your quarterback's best friend?
Yeah.
There's some positives, I think, there, but like...
Well, does Terry Bagula think that he's Josh Allen's best friend?
Josh didn't invite me to his birthday. That's why I fired Sean McDermott.
That's it. Hey, Bill. Stiddy City.
Bill Hart. Stiddy City.
Stiddy City.
I need a Stidham clip.
No, I got
Pero Bo Nix es especial con great play.
Just imagine he's saying Stiddy.
With just some of the different competition. I'm combining words now. The
Stiddy. Real quick, I do want to talk about this. Sorry, I had this pull up while before we jump into this. This finally got released, right? So MVP, not a few shockers there, but Trevor Lawrence, getting an MVP nod for how he played near the end of the season.
Like it.
Drake Maye, Matthew Stafford, all makes sense. Threw Allen up there again. CMC, I'm glad he's getting that nod because he had a phenomenal season. Defensive player of the year. I mean, this is Myles Garrett, right? I mean, Bonito's been fantastic. Will Anderson's been so good. Parsons, Hutch, whatever. But I think this is Myles Garrett, right?
Yeah. I like how these are presented by Invisalign.
Yeah, dude.
Presented by TCL.
Hellscape. We have to make sure they're all sponsored. We gotta.
You know what? I was looking at the NFL MVP finalists, and that's the moment I decided to get Invisalign, Tom.
That's it. That's what put me over the edge.
I'm switching from Apple to Microsoft Copilot right after seeing Offensive Player of the Year.
It's true. I get the million on Sunday, but you have to see Perna cry when the Broncos lose. Do you take that offer? Sure. Perna's watched me cry plenty of times.
Yeah, why the fuck would Tom care about me crying?
Yeah, it's just... Is Perna okay? I don't know. I'll talk to him on Monday.
No.
Packers lose. Did you check in on Tom? No, I'll talk to him on Monday.
Guillermo, the real question is, my man, are you going to cry if the Broncos win? Or are you rooting against Josh McDaniels, your former tormentor?
Yeah, I don't. If the Broncos win, I'm not gonna cry. I just want to see a good football game. I have no dog in this fight whatsoever. It's kind of like, all right,
woof.
See good football. Let's see the best Super Bowl matchup. K-Chan with a fitty.
Woof, woof.
That has happened to me before when you hide shortcuts on your desktop and you can't find. Yeah, that is blends in with the background. That's how you know, because then you just get really frustrated and you're like, where the hell is it? It's supposed to be a good day. Offensive Player of the Year presented by Microsoft Copilot. Maye, McCaffrey, Puka, Robinson, JSN. No real surprises here, but as was mentioned before, no James Cook. So they threw in Robinson instead of James Cook. James Cook, who got the rushing title this year. So
yeah,
little interesting there. JSN, there was a chance that I thought he was going to win it, right? But he kind of, I don't want to say dropped off, but he kind of just it petered out a little bit. Puka obviously had a phenomenal season. I wouldn't be surprised if CMC gets this, or if Drake Maye doesn't win anything. He'll get Offensive Player of the Year.
Yeah,
that's what I'm imagining.
No, Bijan was phenomenal. I think the one knock on James Cook, didn't he have a significant amount of fumbles?
Fumbled a decent amount, I think.
Cook, what were his fumbles this year?
Hey, I had to test it. Get out of here.
Ha ha ha.
This MVP brought to you by Bidet.
Presented by EA Sports Madden NFL.
Yeah. James Cook had 6 fumbles. So, that's a little high.
Am I going to join Perna? Absolutely not. No. Perna can finally go lose, and go do a bet that
you guys better get your S together.
So, no.
Better get your S together, Nick and company.
No.
I should get an update on how many we're at, but
I don't know why Abdul Carter's in here, but even Worry or Schwarzinger, I think would win this. Comeback Player of the Year, they might throw that at CMC. I mean, he had a phenomenal season. This
That
one,
play call that Knicks got hurt was kind of dumb. Oh, we talked a little bit about it maybe Monday because Sean Payton dialed up 10 runs to the running backs. So I do think it was a weird call. I don't think you can ever like call plays and go, oh, I shouldn't call a designed run to my quarterback because he might break his ankle here. But in that situation, could you just hand it off to one of your running backs and probably be more effective? Yes. Now, Jaleel McLaughlin fumbled the week before, right? Was it? Or no, he fumbled in that Bills game earlier in that game, right? Is that the Bills game? Jaleel McLaughlin fumbled in the Reds. Yeah, because who was offsides?
yes, because the Bills were offsides. So,
Yeah. God, dude, my brain just
because that's the one where also you had the drop touchdown on that drive.
Yeah. So McLaughlin fumbled early in that game. Maybe that's one reason Sean doesn't want to go there. So
yeah,
I think the bigger concern, and this is like what I've learned just by listening to the local sports talk here in Denver, this is the third time Bo Nix has broken his ankle.
Yeah.
I think second time for the same ankle, but technically I believe he's broken his ankles 3 times now. I believe he had an ankle surgery last offseason. So that's a little bit of a concern. The fun thing, the conspiracy floating around now as well, and I'm not going to mention who started it, but the conspiracy is Bo Nix has not officially been put on IR yet. So there's a chance maybe.
Didn't he get surgery a few days ago?
Yes. Yes, but technically, I think they can put him on IR today or tomorrow, but that's been the fun conspiracy.
Roshan, yeah. I mean, we talked about this narrative, right? And it's that the Patriots, there's been talk about their schedule and their list of their opponents all season. But I understand, again, just losing Bo Nix, it makes it less fun for everybody. It makes it less fun for the Broncos. If the Patriots wind up winning, then they're going to still hear the tired excuse of like, well, you beat Jarrett Stidham in the AFC Championship. But they have gone up against like some of the best defenses in the NFL, and then if they wind up going against Seattle in the Super Bowl, then and they wind up winning, then I think that's going to shut a lot of people up. But
dude,
yeah, no,
the Seahawks would have a revenge Super Bowl against the Patriots. If the Broncos get there and got to play the Seahawks, then they have a chance for their revenge Super Bowl against Seattle.
Yeah.
But I don't think anybody
Rams.
really wants to play Seattle's defense right now.
No, I'm very curious to see how they look against LA.
Yeah.
Very, very curious.
I think they're not going to look as dominant as they have. I think they're going to look like a very good defense, but Stafford, the last time he played him, put up 457? Was it 457 against Seattle? Like McVay and Stafford, they're going to have success against them, drives, moments that, the Niners were not able to last week. I saw some stat about Seahawks, though. It was like they hadn't given up a 20-yard play in their last 4 or 6 games.
Dude, I mean, it kind of makes sense because the last 2 games were against the 49ers, right? And they didn't allow a freaking touchdown. So that's going to make some stats look pretty good.
Yeah, they have not allowed a play to gain more than 20 yards in over a month. They're the only team since the year 2000 to not allow a play of more than 20 yards in 3 straight games, including the playoffs. That's from Doug Clawson on X.
Dude, you have to go back to week 15, right? And we've been talking about their run game too. So week 15, when they went up against the Colts, they had that rough game where Philip Rivers was like, oh my God, is Philip Rivers going to beat them? They had 50 rushing yards. Since then, 171, 163, 180, and 175. So you want to talk about that balanced attack. I mean, they've looked really damn good this last month. And the week 16 game, of course, was against the Rams. They go into overtime. They wind up overcoming that 16-point deficit. And it just feels like this squad, if they can play that kind of football where you're talking about Jarrett Stidham not having to be put in a situation where he's going to have to go and play hero ball, right? Yeah. If they could do that with Sam Darnold, and just be like, here you go, man. Like, just hand that freaking ball off. And I know Zach Charbonnet is out now because of his ACL. But if you just hand that ball off to Kenneth Walker, who had 3 touchdowns last week, yeah, I think the Seahawks are going to be in some pretty good shape. They're right.
Yeah, I think the Rams are going to. I think they're going to do a decent job containing the run and trying to force this game onto Sam Darnold. I think that's what their attack's going to be.
Yeah,
and the Rams certainly have the defensive front to do that. So,
but are they going to get pressure, man? I mean, they got 2 sacks on Bryce Young, and their pass rush didn't look that great against the Panthers. They didn't get a single sack on Caleb Williams. Like, that's a little concerning, and
sure.
Again, the Bears do have a good offensive line, but are they going to be able to get pressure against a good Seattle Seahawks offense?
No, that's fair. The reason that the Rams had success last postseason was their pressure. Like,
yes.
Jared Verse looked unstoppable. Braden Fisk was really good. But I think at times we've seen the Rams' defensive front be very good.
Sure.
And Caleb Williams has been tougher to sack this season.
Absolutely.
Both based on that O-line and just, his elusiveness. But that's Rams have to win that battle.
Yeah.
Because if they don't, and the Seahawks can run, and then, Darnold can take his shots.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be interesting.
How do you slow them down?
Yeah. I mean, I do have the Patriots for the AFC just because I think they just have a significant advantage having their starting quarterback. And I think that they're I know it's crazy, right? And I just think they're a really balanced team. And my concern, I think the way the Broncos win that game, they get after Drake Maye, they force turnovers, they're able to sack him, and they just keep it a low-scoring game, and they're able to do just enough. Dude, even if they're able to just kick field goals, right? I mean, just you saw that against the Bills. They were just able to chip away and just like, all right, field goal, and it made a difference in that game. So you're able to make this like a 17-14 game or even a 14-10 game.
Yeah.
You're feeling okay. You're doing all right.
Yeah, it's tough.
So
you're taking the Patriots is what you're saying.
I am taking the Patriots, yeah.
Cool.
Remember when you picked the Bears over the Packers?
No, I wanted you to take the Patriots because you keep picking against the Broncos and it keeps working in our favor. So
remember when you picked the Bears over the Packers?
And I was correct.
Mm-hmm. I might be correct too.
You were wrong last week.
I was wrong last week. I've gone 500 both weekends. I went 3-3, then I went 2-2, and I was like, if we go 1-1, we go 1-1. I am curious though because of what you think about this Rams Seahawks game because I think again it's the best version of the NFC Championship that we could have gotten. Like I really wanted to see round 3 between these teams. I just wanted to see that divisional rival. It just the Rams, man. On paper, I think they just look better than what they've been playing like. And they haven't been playing awful football at all. Like, it's just been competitive. But I don't know. They don't look like world beaters. Like, you mentioned their defense. Last year, right, they destroy Sam Darnold and the Vikings in the wild card. They just constantly get after him. But they were also able to get pressure after Jalen Hurts, who was behind a better offensive line last year. Like, and they almost won that game. It was a really close game. And here they just look like I don't want to say a lesser version, but they don't scare me as much. And this is coming from someone who hyped up the Rams in the offseason. They're obviously in the NFC Championship. I think they are a very good team. And I don't think that the weather and all that whatever stuff we were talking about last week is going to impact this team like it did last week because it was a 10-10 game for a good chunk of it. I think they're going to be able to move the ball more effectively, but now they're just going up against a better defense.
I mean, that's fair. And the run defense in the postseason has been not as good as it was in the regular season, I believe. What was I'm trying to find their average. Where were they at? They're at 110 in the regular season. It's been 121 in the postseason so far. The Seahawks, of course, have had a very stout run defense. It was right there with the Broncos as the second best. And I think that's we haven't talked much about Kyron Williams or Blake Corum at all for the Rams really in the postseason. I think those guys have to have big games.
By the way,
I just like
real quick.
if the Rams play, I say to their potential on defense and
Sure.
special teams. Seahawks play well on defense, special teams there. I think like this game, it gets tough because I would just pick Matthew Stafford over Sam Darnold. If I had to bet on a guy, I'm going to bet on Matthew Stafford over Sam Darnold. Specifically, if the game is tied late and each guy gets a shot with the drive, I think Stafford's going to have more success there. And it's coming off a week where he was in that situation and he had just one of the most ridiculous throws to Devontae Adams, as you'll see. Devontae, an amazing catch in that situation.
Had the one to Parkinson the week before.
Yeah, so like that's what it really like. The advantage is Stafford over Darnold, but you're right. It feels like every other advantage goes to Seattle, and that's when it just becomes so hard to say.
Yeah,
I think this team will definitely win because of this.
But I think it's going to be a great game. I do think it's going to be a good game. By the way, Phillip Rivers is interviewing for the head coaching position of the Buffalo Bills.
No, is that real?
If the Bills hire Phillip Rivers as their head coach, I don't know if things get better, Brandon. I think that might be peak NFL.
Dude, Phillip Rivers and Josh Allen. If Josh Allen is the man who gets Phillip Rivers a Super Bowl ring,
Purdy, you got a fitty.
Oh. Okay. Thank you for the fitty, Shaggy. No errands to run, so I can watch the whole game this time. We believe in Stiddy to crush the dark side. It's over. He has the mile high ground. True.
Here you go. He's interviewing for the Bills head coaching job. Phillip Rivers' last career playoff game came as a member of the Colts against the Buffalo Bills during the 2020 COVID season. That game turned out to be Josh Allen's first ever playoff win and Phillip Rivers' final playoff appearance. Now Rivers is interviewing to be Allen's head coach.
Wow. I don't think that'd be the worst hire, honestly.
I'm just going to play. I don't even know if it's devil's advocate. I don't know.
In his first game. Let's take a look. Game. Let's take a look.
Yeah, the guy took a cheap shot and hit him in the balls.
Let's take a look.
That's just the 49ers all season.
Yeah.
Maybe a guy without the head coaching experience. I feel like if you want to get over the hump tomorrow, I don't know if Phillip Rivers is the best NFL head coaching experience, right? Because he has other coaching experience. I don't know.
But he's got.
I don't know about that one.
He's got quarterbacking experience.
He does. Yeah. It would be the funniest outcome. I would be a million times more interested in the Bills because of that coaching hire.
That's a man who commuted from San Diego to Los Angeles.
He knows patience.
He watched film in his car ride there. He had a special car with his game film. He watched through tape going. I think in terms of knowing how to prepare an offense, how to communicate with your quarterback, in terms of energy and personality, like with Phillip Rivers, your questions are about the things we don't see a head coach do, right? It's like, how is he managing the team? How's he communicating with his coordinators, his defensive coordinator? How's he going to navigate the complexities that come up through the course of a football season, injuries, a weird a player gets in trouble for some weird shit, right? You got the press. Like, how's he going to handle all of those things as a head coach? He can handle those things like as a quarterback and a guy, as a player. You'd kind of like to see Rivers get an offensive coordinating job for a year or two. I'll agree with you on that.
I would think so, yeah.
But I think if you're going to think outside the box, if you're going to take away the sting of losing McDermott, and not because you believe Rivers is going to come in and be the savior, but like, this is a sideshow, and let's not just get our popcorn. Let's get some M&Ms. Let's take some shots of vodka in the parking lot.
Yep.
Let's have a post-movie spliff ready to go. And let's get fucking high and watch.
Listen, it would be entertaining. Don't get me wrong. It's just, if is Terry Pegula going to be on every single interview? And the first question is going to be, was it a catch? And if they say no, then he's like, all right.
Rivers will tell you it wasn't. He won't lie.
He might not get the job then. He might not. Tough. But yeah, I don't know, man. That'd be interesting. You'd want it. That's it. He's like, that's the only question I have. You'll be
was it a catch in your eyes?
Appreciate you. Yeah, so who do you have for Rams Seahawks?
I'm going to take the Rams for the upset.
Ooh!
I believe in Matthew Stafford, and that's why I also believe in Oz the Mentalist. He did predict a Broncos-Rams Super Bowl, and we are 2 games away from seeing that happen. And that was like week 10 when he was doing his... Why does every team think they need to bring in Oz the Mentalist to like entertain? And I know he's good. He's very good at what he does. But he's like seen every fucking team this year. And now our 20-minute segment with Oz the Mentalist from Wednesday.
Yeah.
I just hope he's right. I hope Oz is right.
May will get more opportunities than Stafford for the MVP votes. Yeah, no, I think Stafford is going to wind up getting it. I think. Yeah. For a number of reasons, but him also being a veteran, I think, is going to be a big one because, May will have more opportunities in the future. That's going to be the thought process. Yeah, that's
Adam Rank's supposed to come on, but I don't know if he is now.
Yeah,
I
just like Caleb Williams in overtime,
he
didn't show up
this morning. He said he was going to come on. We'll see if he comes.
Yeah,
you're running out of time, Rank.
Yeah,
running out of time.
It happens. If I wind up going to San Fran, I'll see him out there. I can see the Rams upsetting, man. I mean, they were beating the Seahawks the last time that they played. I feel like since then the Seahawks have just been in an upward trajectory where the Rams, like, because after that was the Falcons game that didn't go well, they were able to knock off the Cardinals, which was, a good game, but it's the Cardinals. And then, they've just been in 2 really close playoff games. But I also... the quality of the opponent, right? Like the 49ers, yes, they were able to beat the Eagles. They deserve a ton of credit. But, losing George Kittle, I didn't think that was going to be a particular... Like, that was the game I was like, all right, if there's going to be a blowout next weekend, it's going to be that, or last weekend, it was going to be that one. And it was.
It was 100%.
It'll be a blowout this time. If it is, and I'm completely wrong here, if the Seahawks blow out the Rams, then holy cow, it's going to be like, okay, no, like this... they should be winning the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. If the Rams don't win, like I hope, and let's just say the Broncos are out of it too, because I think as a Broncos fan, I'd rather play the Rams than the Seahawks because of the Seahawks defense. Because of the Seahawks defense going up against Jarrett Stidham. If it was Bo Nix, I honestly wouldn't give a fuck. I'd say whoever. Give me the best team. Let the Broncos play the best team. For Sam Darnold's legacy, he's had the most interesting path to get to this situation, and I genuinely root for Sam Darnold. So if the Broncos are out of the mix, the Seahawks beat the Rams, and they got to play the Patriots in the Super Bowl, and then Sam Darnold then goes and beats New England. I'll be pulling for Darnold. Sure. I love like a guy who's been written off. And then when that guy is Geno Smith, who talks about being written off, and then he's replaced by another guy who's been written off, and then that guy's better than the first guy that got written off. I like it.
Yeah. A little underdog story.
Yeah, no, I'll be pulling for Sam. I just feel like in a game like this, I'm banking on Stafford, but like it sucks because there's a lot to like about the Seahawks. Like I like Mike McDaniel.
Yeah.
It was a hire during that coaching cycle where everybody's like, yeah, he's a very good defensive guy, but they don't have a quarter. Like he's going in with Geno. Like what's he actually going to do for this team? How's he going to maximize Geno Smith? And then it didn't work out. They move on from him. It's like, oh yeah, Sam Darnold's going to Mike McDaniel. Like how the fuck's that going to work out?
Yeah.
You got JSN, who it took a couple years. They move on from DK Metcalf. Tyler Lockett's gone. I think the Seahawks have kind of just proven a lot of people wrong this season, and they're a fun team to watch. They're a tough team. So I'm not trying to take anything away from Seattle by picking the Rams.
Yeah, no, I get it. Daniel, feel better. Feel better.
Ooh,
Maya had a lot of fun with that. Yeah, no, we had a lot of fun filming that. It was great. Yeah, no, I agree with you. I mean, the last time I think JSN had a little under 100 yards and a touchdown the last time that they played the Rams, if I'm not mistaken. And then he had a decent game before then. So we'll see what their secondary can do. As long as they don't have any momentary lapses of judgment like they did on the Cole Kmet touchdown, I think that they'll be okay.
Yeah.
But it's also like you throw in that divisional factor, man. Like, and it always, you never know what kind of game this is going to be. I think the biggest surprise would be if the Seahawks come out and they just absolutely dominate the Rams. That I would be, oh, damn, I didn't see that one coming. And then they got to be well beyond favored for the Super Bowl. So there you go. Bills, Phillips. Yeah, I did pick the Seahawks, though. I mean, again, I think the Rams can upset them, but there's their level of play the last few weeks. It's a little concerning, and the Seahawks are playing really damn well.
Yeah, they better be kicking the ball out of the back of the end zone, too. You do not want to give Rashid Shaheed a chance to torch you.
That is very, very true.
If I were the Rams, that's what I would do.
And again, it's also the first time that they played Sam Darnold. That's when he had like that 4 interception game. I think the Rams only won by a couple of points, but the last time that they played, Darnold had like those 2 really bad picks, right? And it was in the fourth quarter, and it was like, oh God, like Darnold completely crapped it. That was on Thursday Night Football, and then they rallied back. Like, that's the other thing the Rams are going to have to do. They're going to have to force some turnovers, and Stafford's going to have to play like perfect ball. So.
Yeah, that's the tricky thing. It's like I trust Stafford more, but do I trust Stafford against the way the Seahawks defense has been playing?
That's a tough one.
Not really right now.
That's a tough
I don't trust
one.
anybody playing against that defense.
It's true.
But I think if I trust a coach to figure out a good game plan for Seattle's defense, it is Sean McVay. Nah, we're not going to co-stream all that.
It'd
together.
be a mess. It'd be a disaster.
That'd be like a mess you could never clean up.
Need to be myself. That's
Tree
it.
can't even log into Twitter right now.
I think the experience will help him when he faces the Broncos defense. I mean, I think that Drake Maye has been able to do a bunch, even though he's gotten sacked a ton of times. Right? He's had better protection. They invested in that O-line, but he's still got, what was the second most hit quarterback or sack quarterback this year. And then Herbert was like right behind him. So I don't know, man. Like they're going to have to neutralize that Broncos pass rush. But considering they were able to still beat the Texans, I'm a little bit more afraid of the Texans defense than I am the Broncos. But who knows, man? I mean, they're both really good.
I think Drake Maye having to play against 2 very good defenses is beneficial for him. That's how you learn in the NFL, right? Like it's game reps. That's our big fear with Jarrett Stidham. Has not had any game reps this year since the preseason. So I do think it helps him. I don't think it means that, he can come in and have a ton of success against Denver's defense. I think like with the Patriots, even in those victories, they were playing teams that were pretty one-dimensional. So like if you're a Patriots fan, that's your only real concern. Yes, they played a juggernaut Texans defense. They played a very talented Chargers defense, but the Chargers have no offensive line. It's literally one of the worst offensive lines to go into the playoffs. The Texans offense was fucking putrid. It was so bad. You had Dan Orlovsky apologizing for being critical of CJ Stroud. Like, it was bad.
It was one of the worst playoff performances we've seen in a hot minute. Like, it was pretty horrendous. And I like CJ Stroud a ton. Man, there's a whole character I have named the Stroud. You know what I mean? Like, I really like him, and I hope he does well. But holy God, like it was ugly.
Yeah. Now, the good news for the Patriots is they might be getting a one-dimensional Broncos football team. We don't know. The Broncos offense with Jarrett Stidham could be very one-dimensional for sure. I'm hoping it's not. I don't think it will. I think their offense is going to be like, I think their offense is going to function a little bit above average. That's my honest feeling about it. But the thing that scares me about New England is their defense has been playing as well as any of the other defenses in the postseason.
Yes.
It's Seattle, it's Denver, and it's New England right now. All of those teams have defenses that can take over games and that you have to worry about. So that's what scares me. If the Patriots had like this, if Drake Maye, did what he did this season and they win all these like high scoring games and you're like, yeah, their defense though lets up a lot of points. That's just not really been the case.
Yeah.
So that's what scares me.
Should be a new rule for hiring that every team who fired a coach with more than 5 years tenure should be forced to hire each other former coach. Every team who fired a coach with more than 5 years tenure should be forced to hire. What? Huh?
You mean like within a division? So Harbaugh would have had to go to the Steelers. Tomlin would have had to go to the Ravens. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's what I think. I think. I mean,
you kind of wrote that question like Yoda.
Kind of. Harbaugh got a job immediately. I mean, it just makes you more attractive. Like Tomlin, if he decides to go coach next year, like he's going to be one of the hottest coaches during that coaching cycle just because he has that veteran leadership, right? And it's kind of like, okay, yeah, like you need to turn some things around. Why not? I saw that. Was he murdered or he he died in LA? I literally saw that right before we went live. That's pretty nuts. I think he's a former Raiders player on defense.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Kevin Johnson right before murdered while living in a homeless encampment in LA. Well, that's
pretty horrible.
Yeah.
Pretty terrible.
Terrible.
Yeah, it's pretty horrible. So they would be.
Guys, can we not bring down the spirits here?
We're talking about Philip Rivers and be like
murder. Terrible news, please.
I didn't even know it was there. I just saw that he died.
Yeah, that's horrible.
That's pretty terrible. Well, of course, pretty bad.
Did you see the Kevin Johnson news? Looks up the Kevin Johnson news. It's basically the worst news you can read.
Now you saw the Kevin Johnson news.
Yeah.
Now you have. Yeah.
Now I know.
Hey, listen, if we see, AP Coach of the Year sponsored by whatever, and then you see assistant coach and it's just all Philip Rivers kids. I mean,
nice.
Come on now.
John Elway will be the honorary captain for the Broncos.
There you go.
On Sunday.
Yes, he's a hoe. I want that known. Thinking, what a time. What a time. I guess Adam Rank's not coming.
I guess not.
Okay. It's fair.
I bet he'll be here next week.
He might show up like literally during this next hour and be like, sorry.
Yeah. I mean, I did accidentally give him the wrong time, but I gave him the correct time twice. So one incorrect time, 2 correct times. Might be my fault.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. Curly Lambeau as a coach. Love Curly Lambeau, but as a coach, we'll see. That he's just upset about the Bears. Are you kidding me? Adam Rank would love to come on the show just to be like, "Hey, remember when they beat the Packers?
Yeah,
remember that?"
And he lone wolfed the Broncos a few times for us. So he'll come next week.
Yeah,
because he said, "Hey, we should talk. I want to get on the show and talk." I said, "Yeah, come on, Adam.
Let's do it." That's true, Perry. That is very.
It's the second time though we're supposed to have a guest, and then it didn't happen. Oh, it's Drew Lynch the last time. Then we got Drew a week later. He was sleeping because he was flying back from like Japan or something.
Why are we been talking about this? No, I think the Giants, even if they didn't hire Harbaugh, I like them just getting healthier. No, I think if they wind up crushing it in the draft, I think the Giants could be competitive.
Yeah.
I think so. Oh, there was a pick say he'll break Brett Favre's record for total career pick sixes. Oh, look at that. Okay. So Ty Domofsky said this today, and I've been wanting to do a video about the Packers defensive coordinator. Domofsky went on the radio today, and he's like, they are not going to make a decision. They're bringing in Al Harris, right, former Green Bay Packer, want the ball, and we're going to score against the Seahawks. But they're not doing anything until they can talk to Jim Leonard. And so obviously they can't talk to Jim Leonard because they're playing in the AFC Championship game. So if the Broncos wind up losing this weekend, maybe they go and have a conversation with Leonard. But I think Leonard right now, because Parker, I wouldn't have minded, but right now I think Leonard is probably my top pick. So that'd be really cool. I would enjoy that. So we'll see. Perna, what do you got coming out today, buddy? We'll see.
Got a little Jarrett Stidham video. Should be up very soon. Very soon.
Would you blame Josh Allen if you requested a trade? Would I blame him? No. Do I think it's going to happen? Also, no.
No, I think Josh is too loyal to his teammates in Buffalo and to the fan base in Buffalo. Do I think there might be a question of whether or not he signs another extension with the Bills? Yes, I do. But he's actively involved in this coaching search, which is weird.
Yeah.
You don't see quarterbacks getting to be a part of the coaching search. Now, you, as an owner and GM, yeah, maybe you want your quarterback's feedback on these things, but
see, Canes, I don't know about killed his NFL career. I think that his level of play just significantly dropped off. I mean, like when he came back from his injury, when he had I think it was his thumb injury, they got shut out by the Packers. And he did not have a good rest of that season. Then they traded him to the Broncos. I think the Seahawks just saw the writing on the wall and were like, okay, the level of plays declined and we can go get a haul for this guy. So I think I don't know about mismanaged. I think it's just, we've seen Russell Wilson play good in moments, right? Of like, oh man, still has that deep ball, but overall, just putting it together. I mean, he's just dropped off.
Russ can't play the game of football consistently from the pocket. And when you're a quarterback who gets past the age of 32, if you want longevity past that age, you've got to be able to win from the pocket. Yeah. And I think Russ just never was able to fully process and analyze a defense the way you need. And I think his
we'll see that.
I just think his stature, being shorter, trying to play back there is more difficult. So I think those two very real things just caught up to Russ.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I don't listen. First of all, that'd be a luxury of a problem to have, right? But two, it doesn't make even sense financially because Bo Nix on his rookie deal. So, nah, man. If Stidham winds up winning this AFC Championship game, he's gonna be a legend in Denver. If they wins the Super Bowl.
Wins the Super Bowl.
Statue.
The Broncos trade Jarrett Stidham and Bo Nix for Josh Allen. And then we win Josh a Super Bowl. And then the Bills give us Bo Nix and Jarrett Stidham back.
I was about to say, you just gave up on Bo Nix already, huh?
No, we love him. We just want Josh to win one too.
There you go. Yeah, Friday night Q&A tonight. I'm going to try to get a video out today too, potentially on the defensive coordinator or a skit. I don't know. Scripted took me 3 days, so we'll see.
Dude, the toughest part for Bo Nix is the moment I think he was validated in everyone's eyes in the football world. They learned his ankle was broken.
Yes.
You know what? Bo actually cared. He was the dude when that team needed him.
Yep.
Oh, we won't. Nope. Now we don't get to find out.
Now I don't know. But folks, appreciate the hell out of you. I'll see you later tonight. But thank you so much for watching. I'm Tom Grossi. That's Bryant Perna. This is GPS. And you have been navigated.
And you've reached the Broncos beating the fucking piss out of the Patriots. Let's go, Stiddy! Let's go, Stiddy!